Whoa! A new Paper Mario game was announced today, basically totally out of the blue. A lot of information was put out, including a trailer, some websites, screenshots, and I kind of just want to go over everything I can get my hands on and see what I can learn from all this information. I'm still super excited about this game, so I'm just trying to calm down enough to make a coherent video. An article posted on Nintendo's website has a bit of exposition, but I'm not going to read that on screen, so I'll just kind of mention that in the trailer as it begins. So, in the very beginning of the trailer, first thing I noticed was immediately, okay, color slash art style. But Peach comes out and something totally new to this game, right? She's folded. And that was super interesting to me. But something else that I really liked is the creepy atmosphere we're getting. Like the sound that we're hearing, as well as the sound of the actual letters individually coming into the blocks. Like, listen to the letters as they come in. Yeah, and then it immediately opens up very dark, yes or no. Will you crease yourself and be reborn? And she basically just says, wrong answer, right answer, doesn't matter. I already like how dark this is, and the paper pun, of course. And then I also, you'll notice here that the letters are sort of misaligned, so the return of that nice detail with having different text boxes appear differently based on like the context of the speaker is really cool. And then he basically gets sent down that area in Peach's castle, and here, whoop, already so fast, we can start to see this is what the folded enemies look like. The folded enemy Shy Guys and the normal residents of Mushroom Kingdom, or at least the area. In this place too, we can also see this is folded up Bowser being attached by a realistic looking clothespin, and you can also see in the background the shadow of two what looks like folded Shy Guys taking a non-folded Koopa Troopa probably into custody to like convert him to be folded too. And then, so this is the main antagonist. This is King Ali, and he is basically like the Origami King. This is Paper Mario the Origami King. He's the main antagonist. Origami plot, and he's basically taking over Mushroom Kingdom. Something else I'll point out, so in this scene, the point is to showcase all these ribbons coming into Princess Peach's castle to take it over, but it also gives us an early glimpse at the hub town in this game, or at least what I assume is the hub town. You can see a little port, you can see shops, a fountain, a street center, additional homes, and maybe a museum or a town hall. That looks like the statue of a giraffe there. We're pretty zoomed out, it's hard to tell. But it looks like a hub town, which is really cool. And then as these come together, so there are 5 ribbon colors right here. And in the description on the website, it actually says something like, it says that there, oh here, with 5 giant streamers under his control, King Ali binds Princess Peach's castle and transports it to a distant mountain as part of his plan to refold the world. And so these are the 5 giant streamers. It looks like red, purple, yellow, blue, and green. So we got that, and then a Shy Guy comes in with a clown car, and you can tell here Mario is running with the folded up Bowser. Now, based on Bowser's art style, it looks like they were in the process of turning him into an origami version of himself, but Mario managed to save him before they got that way, because he's obviously folded, but his art style isn't in that origami art style we've seen yet. And also here with Mario and Bowser is Olivia, and she looks like she's going to be a Kirsty type, Huey type partner who's around with you the whole game, because in almost all screenshots of Mario in the overworld, she's there with him. And interestingly, it notes on this Nintendo website for the game that, where is it? Mario meets Olivia, King Ali's sister, and the two join forces to put a stop to Ali's origami onslaught. I think that's really cool. That makes me think about like Vivian and the Shadow Sirens, how someone from that family kind of defected, or at least that group of individuals defected from bad to good. So that's a really cool dynamic in that as well. But let's get back to the trailer. So it's Mario, Olivia, and Bowser escaping from the castle. That's being origamified. They get into the clown car and manage to escape. Now it shows the first picture of the overworld, and the first thing I noticed was that the HP says 50 out of 50. I would guess this is very early in the game, and so to see the numbers that high is a little disappointing because that means it's probably more in the vein of Color Splash and Sticker Star as opposed to like Thousand Year Door in the original in terms of the numbers being large or small. But that's not necessarily reason to be super upset yet, and we'll see why as I go through this more. So he's jumping there. We see like a Goomba just turned from eating a house. There's Olivia stuck to the wall somewhere. This we're going to come to later. Here's a Babam, and it looks like he might be a partner that we have access to, similar to the partners in the first two games. We'll get some more of that in a second, because he actually appears in a lot of different screenshots. And you can see Olivia is here too. So here Mario is just going through a field. Something interesting I noticed here as well is that there's a 1-up mushroom next to his health. So maybe that functions like a life shroom does in the first two games. Not sure yet. Here's a little Mario, and so here's the Babam, for example, being in more scenes with Mario, right? And this Toad, I would imagine, is probably just a guide for the boat. And as it goes farther, it's hard to see because the YouTube URL bar is in the way, but you can see throw confetti, move, and jump along the bottom here. So just some actions in the boat. And this is definitely a minigame because you can see these hearts here are not the normal health system they gave Mario. Also, the coins are very similar to Color Splash in terms of the fact that you can get almost 6,000. And this is probably early in the game still. So hopefully there's a good use for coins in this game, and there's a reason that that count gets so high. But definitely the numbers side in terms of being bigger as opposed to smaller, leaning more towards Color Splash and Sticker Star than the first two. This is also the new mechanic it looks like this game is bringing, this 1,000-fold arm something. It notes in the description, it says, battle the folded soldiers in ring-based battles, we'll get to that challenge you to strategically line up enemies to maximize damage. Out of battle, Mario can use the arm-extending 1,000-fold arms ability in specific spots to interact with the landscape, to pull, peel, hit, and more. So that's this part of this new 1,000-fold arm landscape. And we can see he's also standing on a specific indicator spot that shows that he can, it's probably like the thing in Color Splash where you could go to a certain area and then you could use that mechanic, but we'll see more. Now here we see Bowser Jr., Mario and Olivia, and then we actually see Kamek here. Now I think Kamek is another one of the partners because she actually appears in more scenes as well, but let's keep watching. Here there is a Toad as well in what looks like a mummy sarcophagus themed level. Toad might be a partner as well. He might be an area-specific partner. We'll see. You can see some shadow there. And then we can see this desert. So this is probably one of the main worlds because it's got one of those 5 great ribbons. It's got this interesting eclipsed or black moon. It's got Pokies. Mario's in like a boot car all by himself. And there's this tower, which might have been that tomb or sarcophagus we were looking at before. And then there's just a big ball falling down. I didn't think there was anything too notable about the ball, but maybe we'll just see if I missed something. Yeah, I don't think there's anything too notable about that. A lot of paper airplanes flying here. Looks like a really cool scene. I can't tell what image is on those paper airplanes, but it looks like a pretty cool scene. Let me see if the other images for the paper airplanes showed something I missed. Yeah, I don't think I can tell what's on those paper airplanes. I think they're too tiny or not enough detail. We'll skip over that for now. Alright, and then Mario's also running away from some boulder here. It looks like it maybe has areas where he can be saved if he, or not damaged if he just lets it hit him. There's also a life shroom up here like before, and there's a save block up there. Oh yeah, here is him using that arm, those 1,000-fold arms in action. You can even see the Switch Joy-Con controls saying like pull down, Hopefully there's an actual button map to that too, because I don't love motion controls, but it looks so inconsequential that even if there weren't mapped controls to it, it wouldn't be an issue. This area also looks like the hub town that we saw in the beginning when we were looking at the kingdom being taken over by the 5 ribbons. It looks really similar to the hub town that we saw at this point at 56 here. Oops, I went behind it a little bit. Yeah, it looks really similar to this area right here. In fact, it looks like it's right there. I think you can even see the outline of it in that little house shape. So that's the area that Mario is standing in. So I am hopeful that that is a hub world. Okay, and we'll just go back. So he pulls that down. The next scene is 6 pipes, all colored. I'm going to guess this is a puzzle inside of a dungeon or castle or whatever you want to call it. And he's with Olivia right there too. No partners there though, no Kamek or Babam. A giant Cheep. Oh, hang on before we... You can see a Koopa here. I would imagine that's an NPC though, not a partner. Now, okay, here is the battle system. And I'm actually going to skip over this a tiny bit for right now, because I'm going to talk more about this when the game, or when this trailer is done, because there's more information out about the battle system, but I'll just show it to you right now, just really quickly, what the trailer looks like. Great lineup, attack. It said great lineup, attack power up. Oh, let's rewind for that. Great lineup, attack power up. And so you can see it looks like times 1.5. Again, I said I'll talk about this more in a second, but it looks like if you line enemies up, you get attack bonuses. So we'll come back to that in a second. Also has more health here, so this is a little later in the game, and a lot more coins, 12,000. This area looks super cool. It's like a Sniffit casino. Or maybe not a casino, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It just looks like a really, really cool environment, almost like an Oasis type vibe to it. Oh yeah, actually, you know what? Look at the spirals on the columns here. It looks very like Eastern inspired. And you can see music there. Looks like a very cool setting, another save block as well. And then also, this actually made me think of Wind Waker. Look, you can see open C chart, boost, move, dive, return to town. So maybe this is a mini game because it gives such an easy and convenient return to town option, but maybe this is also a way of traveling. That would be super cool. I think this is that looks fun. All the different towns and options. This is probably in the beginning of the game because Bowser's walking like that with Mario, and his health is also only 50. But this is where Bowser was kept before. You can see that the clothespin he used to be hanging on is now empty. Oh, let's go so fast. Just trying to rewind it. So yeah, we saw the town, that sea area. Bowser's walking with Mario. There's just some lava area, clearly a little bit later in the game because more health, and the life mushroom as well. But that's been in so many scenes, I almost wonder if that actually is functioning like a life shroom or if it's just some extra thing. But Mario's just doing some platforming here. Also, now he's doing an attack, and so you can see a couple different things here. So I'll play this first and rewind it. Yeah, it was very, very, very short. So, oh my gosh, there we go. So the attack looks a little bit like Sticker Star and Color Splash in that he just went down in a straight circle. But something that kind of stuck out to me is that you can see the audience in the background, and yeah, they're only toads, but like whatever, it's the audience. But you can see the audience in the background, and they're actually talking, which I think is really cool, because I liked in Color Splash, one of the things I did like is how the enemy said something when you were taking your time to attack. I thought that was kind of funny and just a neat little addition. But you'll also notice, you see that thing that came in and out right here where my mouse is? Shiny boots. Now, I've seen some people thinking that might be a sticker, which doesn't necessarily look great because we haven't seen any stickers yet, but is that a sticker? But I've also seen some people saying, yeah, but that's also how the badge system worked in the normal Paper Mario games, where like you'd select Power Bounce, and then it would do Power Bounce. So it's possible that that is really similar to just selecting a new type of attack that a badge would give you access to. So we don't really know about that just yet. But again, here we also have tons and tons of coins. So he gets these, and these are clearly origami boos, is what it looks like to me. So he hits them. And then Mario's here with Olivia, an interesting colored thwomp. And then I forget what those guys are called exactly, those ninja type guys. They've been origamified, and they're staring at the ceiling. This is cool. I loved that. I love seeing unique and different characters. So seeing whatever this is, it looks like a collection of rubber bands maybe? But seeing whatever this is really makes me excited. You can also see in the background this little purple symbol. I'm going to guess that that is King Oliver's, or was that his name? What was his name? King Ali. Yeah, King Ali's, I'm going to guess that's his symbol. So I would imagine this is probably a boss for one of the 5 worlds, if the 5 worlds are the 5 streamers that were mentioned. He's walking down, and then this huge paper airplane hits the ship. Also on the ship we can see Kamek, we can see some other Mario creatures as well as Olivia and Bowser Jr. or Baby Bowser or whatever. But it hits the ship. Oh, let's go back one. It knocks some of these guys off. It's a Bowser ship, so that makes sense considering it's talking about how Mario's teaming up with Bowser. And then it looks like some sort of Bowser origami mech is rising out of the sand. Let's watch that again. Man, these are going so quickly. One more time. And that's Mario and Olivia on top of it. Oh, and then, was that the folded Bowser? Yeah, that's folded Bowser right there. At least that's what I think. Folded Bowser, Mario, and Olivia. Something's going on. And that's most of the trailer. The only other thing that was here additionally after the credits that showed in this trailer, which was just dropped today, oh, and July 17th, super soon, is that there's a Metroid Prime helmet. So maybe that also means something about Metroid Prime coming soon. There's also Donkey Kong here, and a Goomba, and here's the Bob-omb. And so Mario's got that. Something you don't see every day. Haha. Oh, and there's something wiggling in the trash can too. I wonder, that, I did not notice that until right now. I wonder if that's, do you remember how in Thousand Year Door there was that trash can for the Tatalogs where if you missed them? I think it's very unlikely that's probably what that is, because I don't know if this battle system will support tattling, but that's what that makes me think of. So yeah, that's the trailer there. I also want to show you the battle system. Alright, I got the battle system here. Now, a couple things to note. This is clearly very early in the game because 50 health, right? And so it seems like the way this battle system works is you have a certain amount of ring moves. So it's in Japanese right now, but you can see ring moves right here. And the way it looks is you get to pick one of the 4 rings, like this ring, or this one, or this one, or the most outer ring, and you get to rotate that as much as you want, and that counts as a ring move. Because look, what the guy does here is he selects the second ring, this one, and then rotates it into this space to put all the Goombas together. And as soon as he does that, then you can see him rotate it. As soon as he does that and selects it, the ring move goes from 1 to 0. Right? You can. I keep pointing, even though I shouldn't be. It goes from 1 to 0 as soon as that's selected. So that's clearly what that means. And I would imagine you also get more ring moves as everything goes on. I also just realized I might have been blocking the ring moves thing. But yeah, it goes from 1 to 0 right here. And then that increases his attack to 1.5. And then what he does is it basically gives him the option. Someone on the subreddit translated this. This says like weapons and this says items. I'm going to guess this is just Goomba 4 times. And basically these kind of look like stickers, at least in the art, but I don't think they actually are, because it looks like the just kind of default attack options you could normally pick from. And so this guy selects jump, and it targets all 4 of them. And it's interesting that the basic jump targets all 4 of them, but it's targeting all 4 of them. And I just bit my tongue. That's the whole video of the battling. One thing I'll point out is that We haven't seen a partner battling with Mario yet, but I'm hopeful that there's still a possibility for that because, one, the only real full battle footage we've been shown yet so far is from the very beginning of the game when Mario has just 50 health. But also, check this out. In the very beginning of the battle, before he rotates the ring, there are some options here. Now, again, I don't read Japanese. If anyone can, that'd be fantastic. I'm going to guess this one is run away. I'm going to guess this is maybe items, and this might be something like attack, but one of these might be partner too. And if that's the case, that would be super cool. Something else I think which is really interesting about this battle system is I see it having so much potential in terms of using ring-based puzzles and action commands to sort of deal out the most damage. And something that I think is super cool about that is it also puts a timer on you. So, you know, technically you could take a picture on the Switch and just look at that in the archive. But you can choose to add extra time to it as well and think about the game in that way, which I think is really, really cool. It adds an interesting dimension. It's like how Portal 1, the final boss, there's a timer on it, so it's more of a rush. But that's the whole video for the battle. There's only two other things I wanted to share with you. I wanted to also share screenshots, which IGN posted. So I'm just going to go through these one at a time. I think my stomach's growling. Hopefully that's not being heard too well. This looks like a thwomp train, which is pretty neat. Yeah, here we go. So this is probably how the game starts. Another screenshot. It's Peach basically inviting Mario and Luigi to a like an origami festival, and so that's probably how everything starts because everything looks normal at this point, I guess. But you can see this is definitely the Hubtown area. Let's go. And then the next image, prepare to be folded. This is probably also a battle in the very, very beginning of the game. Here's Olivia, here's folded Peach, here's an almost folded Bowser. Here's one of the first areas, or at least what I'm assuming is one of the first areas because it looks pretty basic and there's a red ribbon there. Maybe we should all put aside our differences for a while, eh? We're all paper. Let's watch each other's backs. Yeah, so it seems like in this game you're going to be teaming up with people who are traditionally enemies, and what determines who's going to be on your side is whether they're made of clean paper or folded origami paper. The coins, the art style are very reminiscent of Color Splash. Here's that casino-ish area I was talking about before, and this is a much better shot. This is that Black Moon area with the sort of Eastern type of architecture, and even the interesting palm trees. Not sure what those are exactly. More pictures. So here's the Babam that I was thinking might be a partner. It's on the ship that we saw before as well, a purple ribbon. Here's Kamek with you, and this is interesting too. I don't know what's behind Kamek. I can't tell if that's something that they've got on their back or if it's just something unique that we don't know what it is yet. But you can see the enemies are all the origami fold. You can see some interesting dancing and stuff going on here with Shy Guy robotic ballerinas. That makes me think of stuff that happened in Color Splash. Same with that picture. Oh, geez, I just put this together. Remember how in the trailer, okay, there are these toads with like a hole in their head. Okay, so I found it. I'm almost positive that these toads with their heads cut out, don't know why, but that is definitely the shadow that was made in this section of the trailer. So something happened to those toads, we just don't know what. Let's continue going through the other screenshots though that we can find. Here's Kamek with what also looks like that maybe special scroll thing we saw on their back, being attacked by a mechanical chain chomp. And look at that tree in the background. It's like on a floating island with its roots sticking out of the island. I love the creativity I see in this game so far. Here's the Babam again with Mario and a blooper. And so this is why I'm hopeful that like partners are at least making somewhat of a return, because we're seeing, even though they're just generic Babams and Kamek, we're seeing the same people over and over again. And it's not just Mario and Olivia. This is like a mech blooper. It looks like a mech based on the sort of art style. This is probably a dojo with the shurikens, and probably is related to that thwomp image we saw of those ninja cat things too. Forget what they're called. Here's the Babam again. They're running away. Maybe these origami people are chasing them. There's the Babam again. There's Kamek again, Baby Bowser Jr. I think we saw that before though in the trailer. Here's that toad from that like pyramid like toad desert spire thing. Here is that place where you would stand to activate that 1,000-arm hand ability thing. Let's see what else we got. There's that happening. Oh yeah, it says move 1,000-fold arms, reset arms. I'm not yet sure how the actual mechanic of pulling that down works. It's probably not going to be too difficult. Pull. Yeah, it's probably just aligning it with the tab that you pull. Oh yeah, it's literally like a tab that you pull, because you can see these edges are perforated and this one isn't. So it's literally just, I would imagine it's getting the arms to the tab. Goodbye. These guys we've seen. King Ali. The 5 ribbons. Yep. The Goomba eating the thing. Oh, this is interesting. While I'm free from that weird in-between dimension. I wonder what that's going to refer to. That makes me think of Super Paper Mario with Mario flipping. The Babam. Yep, this area. Even though it seems like there's a lot in this picture, I can't really tell anything from looking at it by itself. Here's that minigame, or at least what appears to be a minigame. Oh, and look at this. The coins, you can get increments of 10 and 100. I think that was in Color Splash too, but I don't remember. This picture again. What? No way. This would totally be the right way if it weren't for this. Who rigged it against me? I like that they made his sprite dirty. I think that's a cool attention to detail. He probably tried something and messed up. Here's Mario on that desert area. Yep, same area. Him on the boat. That area we've seen as well. These guys. Oh, here it is in English. Oh, here it is. Okay. Buy time, ring moves, hint, cheer, and flee. So as of right now, it doesn't look like partners can participate in battle, but again, we're still only seeing the very beginning, because here's Mario with 50 health, but hint is interesting. I'm really curious to see what cheer does. I wonder if that's like similar to doing stylish moves to refill your star meters in 1,000-Year Door, or what that is. And here you can see buy time as well. Hint, cheer, and flee. I was right about it being flee though. Yeah. Oh, also it says help, toggle or rotate slide, select ring, change view. That's interesting. Excellent. Something about my eyes. Okay, and that's it. There's a couple other things that I found, which I'll go over right now too. Here is also another video of extra footage. I actually haven't really watched much yet. I'm really curious to see what's in this. Here, okay, oh, look at this. We can see the boat. We can see a lot more of the hub town in this shot. The boat is here. Actually, maybe it was just the boat that we can see now. But it's still a much nicer shot of the hub town. Peach's castle. Some princess gardens or something in the back like that. Wrapping around the spires. There's Mario, Bowser, and Olivia and Peach. Okay, so it looks like Peach was already origamified and Bowser was already folded before these ribbons even came to the castle, which is interesting. Everything gets darker. The pictures we've seen before. With Babam and all that. Ooh. Ooh, that was different. That was new. He's walking through a town. That's really interesting. I don't see... There's some interesting sticker-like thing there. I wonder if that's like a collectible item, like a star piece type collectible or something. But here you can also see Mario walking with the Babam. So looking good for some form of partners. But this is a really interesting and pretty town area. Also, this was that area we'd seen before, but now we're seeing him walk into some sort of neutral zone where the grass isn't covering him. I'm just looking to see what else. Oh, and here there are some call-outs to previous artwork from the previous games. Like this is the original Paper Mario. I think this is 1,000-Year Door, Super, and then I can't tell which of these is sticker and Color Splash, but definitely some calls to previous art, which is super, super neat. And a treasure chest right there, too. Anything else? Oh! I wonder if that was our partner, Babam. Here's the fight. This is the only fight they're showing. They are only willing to show this very, very, very first fight. They're not showing anything else. And if you think back, the fight with the boos, they didn't show, I think, the center of the ring. Or I forget at this point. But yeah, he rotates it in, and then he jumps on them. Awesome. Well, this is all I've got from everything that I've watched so far. This is all that I can see and everything I can tell, so it looks very interesting. I think it looks very, very different. It's obviously very similar to Color Splash and Sticker Star, especially in terms of the art, but it looks like partners are back. The battling system is totally new, so we'll have to see what that ultimately looks like. I guess the best way to say this right now is I have hope. I have hope that it looks interesting and cool and different from anything we've gotten before, at least in terms of the game. Not different from everything, but it looks like it is more of a return to form that people were hoping, even though the battle system is totally new. But the new battle system also looks promising, so I don't know. I'm just rambling now. I'm going to end this video. I'm excited. It looks cool so far. I want to learn more. That's it. Thanks.